Welcome to my channel. Hi, welcome back. This is part 2 of our tutorial where we are taking these sad old ornaments and turning them into these beautiful DIY upcycled vintage look ornaments. If you haven't seen part 1, find the link for it below and check that out. When we left off, we had an ornament that looked something like this. Okay, let's go. This is burnt umber watered way down, just in acrylic paint. We're going to just brush it on. We're looking for a very light coat because it's just for the antique effect. And then we're going to come back in and take it off. There are several ways to do this. You can just dab it or you can wipe it. I tend to like to wipe it. You want to use an old washcloth or rag because the paint does not come out of it. And you can use a damp rag if you'd like to take more of the color off. I'm using a dry rag because I like it a little bit more to stay on. Then I go back and hit the nooks and crannies and top a bit more. Let some drips form. And then I just touch those up a bit. There's not a right or a wrong way to do antiquing. It's your own personal preference. Some people like a lot and some people only like a very little. Once you've got it the way you like it, you are going to hang it up, and once again we're going to watch our paint dry. Okay, the paint is all dry and there's only a couple steps left. Thankfully neither of them are watching paint dry. We're going to apply our transfer. This is the Iron Orchid Design French pot. And I just went in and cut out a couple of the smaller designs that I thought would fit onto the ornaments. These are designed for clay pots, and so they're actually made for a curved surface, and that really transfers well onto the ornaments. When you're placing them, you have to make sure you leave the backing paper on because they will start to stick immediately when you take that off. So get it lined up, figure out where it's going to go, and then go ahead and remove the backing paper. The thing that's great about these transfers is that it's actually a paint transfer, not a vinyl transfer. So once you've got it on, you can sand it or distress it, you can paint it. It doesn't have that plasticky feel that most transfers have. All of the directions are in the box, and it even comes with the burnishing tool. You want to work your way slowly around, checking bit by bit that you have it completely transferred before you lift off the paper all the way. Also, if your house is really hot or if it's been hot out, it's sometimes helpful to stick them in the refrigerator for a few minutes. Occasionally, when they are too warm, they'll tend to stick to the backing paper. I'm just working it on down into the edges and making sure that I've got good adhesion all around. I think it looks good. This is the Art Alchemy metallic wax. I've just recently used it and it is really a lot of fun. I like to apply them with brushes and work them down into the cracks on the decorations. The Mystic Turquoise is a little bit blue, a little bit turquoise, but also kind of a coppery color to it. It's just a beautiful effect, a good complement to the copper that we're going to be putting on next. I work, as well as into the cracks, I like to go back and hit up the drips that have formed from my antiquing glaze, and small patches across the back. We'll be blending them together at the end. Then I go ahead and hit the tops and the high places with the copper. It's very bright and shiny. It doesn't translate as well in this video, but it's got a great metallic quality to it. It's really almost as good as gold leaf or copper leaf itself. And it's a whole lot easier to work with. Then I take my rag and go through and blend it together. Once we've got that done, we're going to let it dry for a couple hours. And then we can buff it up to a nice shine. This is one that I did yesterday, and you can see how shiny it comes once you've buffed it up. So if you have only a mold on there, then you can be done. But with the transfer, I want to take this middle section and make it shiny and glassy. For that, we're going to use this dimensional glaze. This is Glossy Accents Dimensional Medium. It applies super easy, just a squeeze top. And I just start in the middle and work it around using the tip to make sure it's pushed down into the edges. And then I just smooth it from the edge toward the middle. It goes on kind of opaque and cloudy looking, but it does dry crystal clear. It's to an extent self-leveling, so you do have to be careful with letting it dry. If you just set it on its back, it will tend to pool toward the edges. So what I did is set it upside down using a cup or a mug. I let it sit there for a couple minutes, and then I check to see if it's dripping towards the middle or if there are any bubbles that need to be popped. There was a tiny little dribble there, so I just smoothed that back out again. You can see it dries nice and smooth and very much like glass. Check it again after about 10 minutes and then just let it sit there and dry. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I had a great time making these, and I think you will too. There are links down below for all of the supplies that we used. There's also a link to my blog, naturallymandaree.com, where you can find this full tutorial as well as a lot of other fun stuff. If you've enjoyed this, please click like and subscribe to our channel for more updates, because we've got a lot of fun projects planned.